Welcome to this Emergence masterclass, you guys. I am so stoked for today. Let me gather up and I want to see if I can see your comments. Come on in. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh. Hi, Connie. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Terry. Who else is in the house? Come on in. Bonjour. So, yes, come on in. So, today we are talking about emergence. And I got to tell you, I have such a good story about this today. It is one of those things that is going to, I don't know, it moved me. It moved me when I started like having these downloads this week about this masterclass. So I'm doing these every few weeks, but sometimes in the middle I'm like, I wonder what everybody wants to hear or what is needed. So I asked you guys the question, what do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about conscious creation? Do you want to hear about your worthiness journey? Do you want to hear about and strengthen that? Do you want to hear more about synchronicity or prosperity consciousness? Do we want to talk about the quantum field? Like, what are we going to talk about? And in some ways, whenever I come to talk about those topics, it's always that I'm dancing around all of them. And there's a reason for that. And I'm going to get into that even more today because some clarity, even just so beautifully dropped, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So if you are new to me or you are watching me on replay, which I know many of you are going to be watching me on replay, I'm Lori Opal, and I am the creator of the Cusp Equation, the Cusp community, and it is brand new in the terms of like the last, I think maybe 5 months or so that I opened this Cusp community. But previous to that, I am the creator of the Manifestation 100 that also lives here. We have the School of Conscious Creation. We've got many sister programs that really have like been evolving in this journey of my coaching over the last, literally almost 30 years. I've been in this industry, and it has been quite an honor and a journey to support you guys in your, not only the manifestation of your dreams and desires, but like the becoming of yourself. So when people ask me what I do, I'm just like, oh, empowerment. I was much older than 10. Can't even thanks. With that said, I have 4 babies who are now all adults. They're all adulting. My youngest just is in her first year of college. We have 2 grandbabies now. My heart is full every single day when I look at this beautiful journey, just not even through the lens of my work, but oh my gosh, through the lens of, who I get to be as a mom and a grandma and all the things. So holy smokes. So I have to tell you, it's been kind of a amazing new year. Like I've had lots of things percolating in me that relate to this work, but I always share with you guys like my connection and my guidance and my downloads. Like I'm always like really willing to share with you my personal journey on on this platform because I believe that I'm a teacher of the work, but I am a forever student of the work. And I have really good guidance. Makes me almost want to cry for a second. I have really beautiful, amazing guidance. And like regularly get the treat of being divinely inspired with words and just with words, with words and concepts and blocks of thought and energies to shift, blocks of energy that I get to share with you. And the other day, as I was asking you guys, what do you guys want to hear? What do you want to learn more about? Not too long after that, the next day or so, I went on my walk and I was feeling into this energy of speak it into existence, speak it into existence, speak it into existence. And I love this. And I have a very activated throat chakra, right? But I was teaching my kids about like, look what happened. You do you realize, let's put it together. Like, you just spoke that into existence because you said it, and here it is. And so I've been pointing out to the kids, you get to like speak things into existence. So speak what you want, right? And so we've been having fun with this concept, and I was thinking about it on my walk, and I was like, yeah, just speak it into existence. Just feel the your throat chakra light up, go to the corners of the universe, carrying your frequency, carrying your desires, carrying your profound alignment. And then I heard these words, and I always get dropped right behind my ear. Right behind my right ear is kind of my microphone from my guidance. And my guidance was like, yes, yes, but call it into emergence. Don't just call it into existence or speak it into existence, like call it into emergence. And then I felt this huge like block of energy just descend into my heart space. And I was like, whoa, emergence, right? And it's oh so butterfly. It's oh so butterfly experiment. It's oh so cusp as we talk about the pillars of the cusp equation, which I'm going to visit because I think I should, because that's what we're doing here. Um, but I felt this big energy of emergence like move in me. And in that moment, I was like tapped into the metamorphosis. I was tapped into the becoming. I'm tapped into the future self. I'm tapped into the, into the unfolding. I'm tapped into all of these vibrational distinctions. And I really want to get this distinction on the head of a pin for you today, because there is something about speaking something into existence. It's like I think it, I feel it, I vibrate it, I align with it, I allow it, and it becomes. Imagine this is the desire today. It just becomes. I spoke that into existence and I allowed it, right? But then I think, whoa, this becoming energy comes way before the existence, right? It becomes way before the existence. And what if we allowed ourselves to speak it, to call it into powerful emergence? It feels like I removed as a piece of vibrational specificity, it feels like I removed some resistance, because there's a part of me that says I can speak it or call it into existence, but I don't understand how. One of the biggest questions I hear from you guys is I struggle with the how. How am I going to do it? How am I going to create that? How am I going to align with it? How am I going to get there? What steps should I take? And here's the thing, like, I'm a steps girl. I love steps. I love stacks. I love sequences. I love equations, but I love them as frameworks that aren't necessarily linear. But as we hold the energy, right, we activate a broader code. So let me rewind for a second. So when I downloaded the cusp equation, and it's been emerging, it has been emerging over the last year and a half or so. When I downloaded that cusp equation, which held all of the codes, all of the frequencies, all of the stacks, when I downloaded that, I knew, I knew that it would be like this acronym. It was this acronym, but I also knew there would be an emergence of it. I could just feel it. But I had to allow myself to feel that becoming and let myself allow and collapse into it and get out of my own way, so that the existence at the end of the day, so that the existence that I wanted to feel in my hands or get my heart around or my mind around, I had to allow that journey, and I had to allow the emergence, right? So here's where the story gets really juicy. And by the way, if you are watching me and you are new, the cusp, when I say bring ourselves to the cusp, it's not only a leading edge place to be, a threshold where we get to go from where we are to where we want to be intentionally, but it's also an equation, which is an acronym for conscious creation, unwavering worthiness, synchronicity, and prosperity consciousness. And that, in a nutshell, is the cusp equation. And when we multiply, and that's part of the becoming, when we don't add these up. When we multiply CUSP, we are a vibrational match to infinity. We are a vibrational match to the quantum field. We are a vibrational match to the desire. We are a vibrational match to standing in our power as conscious creators. And so it just gets really, it is so emergent, you guys. It is so juicy. So, and it sounds like this: I am a conscious creator. I stand in my unwavering worthiness, right? I activate the field of synchronicity, and prosperity is my birthright and my result. And when we're honoring these four becomings and these four energies, it's when we get to step into our most powerful shoes as the creator of our reality. But it's not just empowerment, it's code. And more and more and more, as I have like learned to be even more specific, and I've gotten downloads over the years, and I'm in this every day, more and more and more that crystallizes for me. And when it does, I bring it to you. Which brings me to today, why we're talking about emergence. So so fast forward again. So back to today, back to present moment. So I all of a sudden hear, yes, to speak it into existence. It's so beautiful, but speak it into emergence, call it into emergence. And I was like, I got that. I got that. That's what we're going to talk about. And everything that you guys asked me to talk about this last week, we're talking about it today. And it's so interesting and so beautiful how the universe always is conspiring in all our favors. So, and it's, yes. Okay, so, okay, so here's where it gets really, really good. So I'm really good at words. And when I hear the word emergence, what do you think about? Tell me what comes up for you. But I feel becoming. I feel unfolding. I feel allowing. I feel next level, right? I feel all these things, but it always reminds me of the work that I love to do, surrounded by butterflies here today. You know the work. It's the butterfly experiment. It's almost where it all began. So, but here's what I heard. Look it up. Right, Patricia? The chrysalis, right? Becoming the butterfly. So my guidance says, we know you know. Yes, seeds, light, awesome. Hi, Charlotte, awesome. So my guidance, this is all my guidance today, you guys. Well, it always is, but my guidance says to me, Lori, look it up. And I'm like, okay. All right, I'll look it up. And I want to share with you what was reflected back to me, because this is profound to me. It really is profound. And I am so excited to share this with you today. This almost gives me like full on goosebumps right now. I'm so excited to share this with you today. This definition, if all you did was hold emergence and turn your attention to this like emergence of yourself, it's good stuff. If that's all you did today and that's all you took away today, it would be so good. So listen to what was reflected back to me when I just looked it up, even though I know what it means. Emergence occurs when a complex entity has properties or behaviors that its parts do not have on their own, and emerge only when they interact on a wider whole. I mean, how amazing is that? All right. So it's kind of like, think snowflake, think, yes, butterfly, but feel this: a complex entity. A complex entity. What is that? Could that be you? Could that be me? Yes. When emergence occurs, when a complex entity, aka yourself, has properties or behavior that its parts do not have on their own and emerge only when they interact in a wider whole. So we can make it be about ourselves, but guess what? the cusp equation, that's an entity. That's a breathing entity on its own. It's like a breathing code on its own. So it's a complex entity. And when we pull the parts apart, we take out conscious creation, unwavering worthiness, synchronicity, and prosperity consciousness, those four pieces. When we remove one, we don't have emergence. And I could tell you, like 2 weeks ago, I had synchronicities about these pillars, also knowing that because they activate your magnetic center, that we need all of them to be running. We need all of them to be running for us to collapse time, for us to stand in our magic, for us to be fully magnetic. If you want to turn your light on to its fullest, we step into those pillars. And it is an emergence. It is an emergence of magnetism. It's an emergence of aligned energy. It's an emergence of yourself. It's an emergence of the becoming of your mission and your purpose. It's a becoming. And you can look at almost any complex entity that needs to work together. The car turns on, the engine emerges and goes when multiple things are stacked together. And so I want you to see how energetic and how necessary it is when you come and stand on the cusp to bring the energies together to step into the emergence. So that's to activate the emergence. That's just step one here today. I want to give you these other little secrets to the puzzle because looking up emergence, I also wrote this. And you write this if you're taking notes. Write this on the top of your paper. 4 keys to my emergence. So just like cusp is a code that when all parts are firing, activate your magnetic center. Just like that, emergence, to be in the emergence, in the birthing, the unfolding, the butterfly affecting, to be in the snowflake becoming, to be in the future self embodying, right? Like to be in that, we also can choose states of being and consciousness and pillars to be able to choose that too. So I'm here to say, get on the cusp every single day and be mindful of coaching yourself through these pillars, right? And we checkpoint. And I can't say enough. I am a conscious creator. I stand in my unwavering worthiness. Synchronicity, I activate the field of synchronicity, and prosperity is my birthright and my result. These keys are a vibrational match to the quantum field, to the infinite, to source energy, to your divine power. So that's part one. Part two is, yes, to speak it into existence. But let's even back up one step and say, let's speak it into emergence. Let's call it into emergence. How can I be a vibrational match to emergence today? And so at the top of your paper, 4 keys to my emergence, because it's an activation. And just to rest your attention on it, you guys, starts the energy flowing. So as you say, right, what does emergence feel like? It feels like blossoming. Oh, sorry. Yes, it is blossoming. Sorry. Blossoming. It's blossoming, exciting. It's chrysalis becoming the butterfly. Butterfly, seeds of light. Who else? Tell me what else you got for me. What does emergence feel like? And the minute that we put our attention on my emergence, the keys to my emergence, and you start activating this energy, right? What you focus on grows. It's the simplest of law of attraction, like principles. What you focus on grows. So instead of focusing on, I don't know how to bring it into existence, because that's what happens sometimes, I want us to focus on something even more accessible, which is calling it in to emergence. You feel me on this? I know this is like a big story of Lori's like synchronistic moments here, but it it feels to me like it holds something really valuable for you as you focus on the becoming of yourself. When I asked the question, what do you guys want to hear? Quite a few of you said, I need to work on my worthiness. I need to work on the divine crystalline creator work. Um, this is a big part of it. It's the unfolding of you, right? Clarity, clouds, clearing to blue sky, right? So I want us to feel emergence. And then I want us to look at our life, 4 keys to my emergence. We're going to talk about it right now. And I want you to feel into the power. Number 1 is about the power of decision. And I know on every single level that decision sounds like it's a step 1 on the um, continuum, of personal development, and it lives there too. But I really want us to look deeper into the energy of decision. I want you to think about anything that you want in your life right now in the name of emergence. I want you to ask yourself, as we focus on this energy of emerging, have I truly decided? Have I decided to do the thing, become the thing, manifest the thing, attract the thing, create the thing? Have I decided to step into that version of myself? Have I decided? Are my thoughts, are my emotions, are my actions, is my vision, are they in alignment? Is there anything that's showing itself to be cleared? Because if I haven't made the decision, and P.S., there's nothing wrong with it, but it is this energy, the energetics of making a decision is enormous. Yes, it lives down here where you say, I just need to decide to go to the gym, right? We beat ourselves into submission over here. And then the continuum is this like beautiful unfolding where you're like, you know what? Decision is energy work. And when I decide, it's done. And when I decide, I have ultimate clarity because there isn't any one thing that stands in the way between me and the thing I desire. It's an open field because decision creates space, creates clarity. It's a match to infinite potential. And that is the energetics. So whatever you need to decide on, however that looks, I'm like, how do you decide to put yourself first? How do you decide to show up to you? How do you decide to take action on the thing? How do you decide to promise to love yourself more today than yesterday? How do you decide to be in the action? And and I'm not here to this is a should free zone, by the way, always. Like I'm not shoulding you, but I do want you to examine, like, is this an energetic key that I might want to choose now? Because I'm not much of a should person. So you can take all of this and be like, well, I should do this and I should do that. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't do a single thing unless it calls to you, unless you feel that. But like, there is power in decision. And sometimes we're not ready to step into it, and that's okay too. And the power might be, I decide to not decide. But either way, do decide something. Because the minute you decide something and you remove the noise, you step into your power. So, it's the simple things actually. I've been, I've been messing around with Zoom for a little while. And I thought I fixed it, and then I didn't. And now it's this, and now it's that. And I'm like, all right, I just need to decide. And I'm going to stand behind the decision right now. And I might decide something next week differently. But today I decide we're ditching Zoom. Today, that's my decision. And so that kind of clarity applied across the board is really powerful. And I get it, like, we can't always see it in ourselves, the things that we need to decide on, but I just wanna give you, like, a mirror today. Yeah, no kidding, right, Connie? This is a Zoom-free zone today. So, but I really want to, um, I wanna hold up this mirror today for you that gives you an opportunity to examine, because the 4 keys to your emergence are very cuspy. They're very cuspy, and they live here. They live right here. So ask yourself today, I want to get in alignment with this emergence. I want to I'm going to read this to you again because, I like to repeat. I like to repeat. But when a complex entity has properties or behaviors that its parts do not have on their own and emerge only when they interact on a wider whole. So the cusp works this way. These 4 keys are going to work this way for you too. All right. Number 2. I was in a coaching session um, a while ago, and there's a big conversation between me and my private client about not only being the light, but being the lightning. And so it's become a little bit of um, a thing because it's very much we resonate there together. But it's this notion of I am the light and the lightning. And I was in session with her, and all of a sudden I just like, boom, I heard it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I need to spill this energy to you right now. And we need to infuse this complex entity called this energy field, right? Between us with I am the light and the lightning. And in that moment, I felt like so empowered to be the light and this lightning that felt like this like code or this source of awakening. And as I reverse engineer that today, because I heard these keys today, as I reverse engineer that today, I heard that we need to choose an enlightened lens. So at the end of the day, the question for you is what, hold on, I cannot read my own writing. The question today is, what if I brought light to this? And what if I became it? What if I brought light to this? And I want you to name your situation that you're thinking about right now. Maybe it's that you want to find the love of your life. Maybe it's you want to make more money. We all want 5 things: love, joy, purpose, health, freedom, right? Maybe a lot of you are with me for a very long time. And so what I know is many of you are like bliss seekers and joy finders and, you know, really tuned into just the becoming and the sharpening of the edges of your crystal, because you understand like there's no end to your power as a creator of your reality. So but like whatever that desire is that you hold, that next level ascension, that next level rise, what would be my enlightened lens? And so you can hear on every level that I'm asking you to infuse prosperity consciousness with an enlightened lens here. What would that be? Share with me in the comments. One word will absolutely do. What would shift if I brought light to this? And it might be that you can only count on your own shift. And it might be that you would find ease. Maybe you would step into more power. What would happen if I chose an enlightened lens? So you can feel the stack, you can feel it. We start with decision, we move into choosing an enlightened lens. Okay, suddenly I can feel some shifting. This is how stacks work. This is why I write them. This is how stacks work. What if I chose an enlightened lens and from this decision, then chose an enlightened lens? How would that feel when I suddenly start to bring them together? How would it feel to start to bring decision with an enlightened lens together? Can you feel the emergence starting to unfold? This is how I write the stack. Patricia, greater understanding. Connie, step into my power. Take the step into my new adventure. Right? Excellent. Jean, hi. Understanding, seeing things more clearly. Right. This is where the goddess observation deck comes into play. I have so many ways that I've talked about these concepts over the years, but it really is like I infuse this light and I infuse this lightning, this awakening energy into this enlightened lens. And suddenly I can feel a little shift in the emergence. There's something powerful here. Can you guys feel it? This is vibrational splitting of hairs, right? Connie, bring more light into my life and to others. Yeah. So, number 3, this is a little checkpoint. So, feel the unfolding. I decide, I choose this enlightened lens, and then we say, oh, where does this feel? Where do I feel light in my body now? Because I decided, because I brought light to this lens. Where did I feel a shift in my body? Write it down here. I feel a little shift right here today as I even talk to you guys about this. I feel this little shift in my solar plexus. Because when we shift our attention to our body, not only can we sometimes find our stuck points, we can find where we have seeded new light. And I'm all about clearing the clearing. I mean, that's what we do. We do ego work. The darkness shows itself to be cleared, and it's just our misalignments. But this is like, when we bring ourselves to the chiropractor, we make the alignment. Here's the sticking point. Let's bring you back into alignment. But when you say, I'm going to intentionally seed and get embodied in this light, Patricia, solar plexus and heart, right? Okay. I'm going to feel this embodiment of that light, of that decision, of that enlightened lens. And then I'm going to choose to see where it just opening little by little, unfolding, 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 like the light of a flower blooming in turning its attention to the sun. Tingling in head and shoulders. Jean, yeah, I've got some of that too right now. Okay, so we turn our attention to the body. When you are embodied, that means that I am holding the frequency. Loriisms are, we get it in our bones, or we ignite that like in our cells. We feel that shift in our bones, in our physical body. But the first thing is like, I just felt this shift. Let me honor the light that just got embodied in me because of that decision, because of that enlightened lens. It's powerful stuff, you guys. These are keys and pillars and foundations on the cusp. We're talking about emergence today. This is how it came through. But I want you to feel how that opened in you. And I also want you to feel how vibrational matched it is to prosperity, to love, to light, to source, to your inner being, to the quantum field, to all that is. Feel that, feel that. That's how we get embodied, is we find it and then we allow it to get bigger in us. And if you allow that enlightened lens to be planted in that seed and to hold, and you get to water that seed if you choose. All of you get to water the seed of this emergence if you choose, because this is what it's like. It's our psychology meets our light work, meets our belief systems. These core pillars, these keys come together and they start to create change in a way that does not make sense to the mind. This is where this is the energy that creates the miraculous. I really want you to feel how this is. So as we have this unfolding of this light inside of us, can you feel how I get goosebumps saying it? Can you feel how this is calling in the emergence? And I started with decision, which for all practical purposes feels kind of masculine. And this is complete feminine creation. And it's where the feminine and the masculine energies come together to create and to birth that which you desire into your life. It really is the desire of I am a conscious creator. I stand in my unwavering worthiness. I activate the field of synchronicity. Prosperity is my birthright. It's my result. Kind of your body feels it. Then the mind and brain listens and follows if we follow the path lighting up before us. Yeah. Which brings me to my next point. Is your intuition on fire or something? All right. So I want to talk about then from this place, trust. Feel this. I decide. I choose this enlightened lens. I feel the seed and this light in my body, and I allow that to unfold in me. And I allow that to like stretch to the corners of the universe. And number 4, I trust. And I have said it 1,000 times. The path lights up when you do, one glowing stone at a time. But what we have to come to understand, right, Connie? What we have to come to understand is that this unfolding path, this emergence, path lights up when you do, one glowing stone at a time. We feel like we are picking up the stone and picking up the stone and picking up the stone. And yes, we are. All the synchronicities, all of the unfoldings. But what we don't always realize is that we are the path. We are the path. We are the person on the path. Let me back up. We are the person on the path. We are the path, and we are the stone. And so when I say the path lights up when you do, it's because you can't separate yourself from the path. You can't separate yourself from the stones. One glowing stone at a time. It's like when we really understand that the stones that we're picking up is not just a synchronicity, but it's like we're picking up the clues to the becoming of ourself, then we really, really are a vibrational match to this profound emergence. This profound emergence. So a few weeks ago, so I'll give you an example. So a few weeks ago, so we're in major like organization mode. I have to decide a lot of things: pitch, keep, whatever, sell, give to the kids. You know what I mean? It's a lot of this going on in our basement right now. And we're creating this beautiful space because we want to we just want to feel like we can breathe down there. We just want to breathe down there. It's our workout area. Um, and of course, I come across like a bunch of things from like my own childhood. And something I had not seen in a couple decades was this picture. And it was tucked, I don't know why, but it was tucked in this little book of poetry that I had put together. Some poetry that was written by others, and some that was written by myself. I remember creating it, but it was in college. But I don't remember putting this picture of myself in there. So I had this little picture of myself, and I opened up the poetry book. I'm like, oh my gosh, here I am, like 4. I posted it in our group. And above me are these butterflies. They were my dad's butterflies, right? The ones that he collected along the way. And he saved them, and he had all the species, and he studied them, and it's like, of course, I'm the butterfly girl. And so here I am looking at this like 4-year-old picture of myself. And I took a picture of the picture and I sent it to my mom, and I go, honestly, honestly, I was the, I'm in this photo with the butterflies. She's like, "Oh, they've been with you all along, you know." And it is a vibrational path. And it was like in that moment, I could just feel this crescendo energy of my emergence in that moment. And as I look across my life, as I look across my becoming and my unfolding, it's always been, I decide. It's always been, I choose this enlightened lens. Always. It's always been, I'm going to get it in my bones and I'm going to become a vibrational match to that, always be embodied. And it's always been, trust this path, even though I cannot see what is in front of me. The path lights up when you do, one glowing stone at a time. I am me, I am the path, I am the stone, and everything in between is a reflection and a mirror of my becoming. So I want you to see this, you guys, as this is emergence energy. If we're going to allow our emergence, 4 keys to my emergence is at the top of your paper. If I'm going to allow my emergence and become a vibrational match to the divine unfolding of myself, of my mission, of my good, of my prosperity, of my dream, of fill in the blank, these energies, decision, enlightened lens, the embodiment of that light, and the trust of the path is such a vibrational match to that emergence. It is such a vibrational match to the becoming, your future self. It really, truly is. And I want to hold this really sacred space for you guys all the time, that we really bring those 4 pillars together. So I'm kind of dancing around them. I don't want you to be confused because there's the 4 cusp pillars: conscious creation, unwavering worthiness, synchronicity, and prosperity consciousness. And then there are the 4 that I talked to today that are a vibrational match to the emergence. They go together, right? It's like I like to look at it like some of the concepts that I talk about really flex the muscle of being on the cusp. But we arrange them in a certain way so that emergence occurs when they come together. Don't pick, I'm just going to say, don't pick one of these things. Pick all of these things. Pick all of these, not from should. Feel through them, play with them, practice them, and see what unfolds. Because every single time I bring together all of the frequencies that reflect the universal law, when I bring them all together, I create a shift on the quantum field every single time. Like literally without fail, I create a shift on the field. Emergence occurs when a complex entity has properties or behaviors that its parts do not have on their own, and they emerge only when they interact on the wider whole. So if you only practice conscious creation and we leave out the rest, we don't create the result. If I only practice worthiness, I don't create the magic. If I only practiced looking for my synchronicities, if I only practiced thinking like a rich woman, prosperity consciousness, if I only practice each one of those, but when I practice them as a unit, when I practice them as a code, as a combination that unlocks the keys to conscious creation, then we make magic happen. And yes, that's ever so slightly simplified because as human beings, we come with the stuff and we are wired for our awakening, right? We come wired to awaken, and to awaken, we have to allow clarity. We have to allow shift. We have to allow learning. We have to allow the growth. But we are wired for the awakening, you guys. We are wired for the awakening. So I want to encourage you to bring this together today. The emergence gets to happen when we decide, when we choose enlightenment, when we get embodied and we trust. And it's cusp energy. It's cusp work. So today I brought you a little mini stack so that you could feel like how we do it here and how this clicks together. And I'm going to say, don't leave out anything. Just don't leave it out. Have some fun with it. Should you leave it out, That's okay too. It's part of your awakening. Meet yourself where you're at. Ah, awesome. Yes, listen on replay. I'll see you later. Awesome. All right, you guys. I hope this was super helpful. Tell me what questions you have if you have any. And if you're watching on replay, also questions or ask me questions. I'll do my best to answer. Um, but it was a joy today, and it really is a joy to share the story. What was number one? Number one is the power of decision. Decision is energy work. That was number one. I'll get this replay up really quick too, but that was number one. Decide. So it's a joy for me to share like my spiritual journey with you and like my epiphanies and my whispers and my downloads. I know that they are not meant for everyone per se, but they are meant for those of you that truly resonate with them, um, who feel that same frequency. I look at it like we're part of the same soul family or the same, soul tribe, so to speak, the same fractal line. I look at it like that. So we speak the same energetic language. So if this resonates, there's a reason why it resonates. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that, Connie. All right, you guys. So if I can be of any assistance, if I can help you further, if you'd like some help with this work, please let me know. Send me a message. I have good things always coming in store, both in private coaching and in group style coaching. Until then, have a wonderful, thank you, Patricia. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your day. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Terry. Hello, hello. Have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, you guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.